In this video, I will explain to you the first 6 verses or slokas of Rama Gita. Om Shri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Mahadeva Uvacha Tato Jaganmangala Mangalatmana Vidhaya Ramayana Kirti Muttamam Chachara Purvacharitam Rahuttamaha Rajarshivaryairavisevitam Yatha. So these are the words of Lord Shiva Mahadeva to Devi Parvati. To a question asked by Devi Parvati, how was Sri Ram after establishing his kingdom in Ayodhya? Ramayana means Ramasya Ayanam, the resting place of Rama. That is Ayodhya. So after establishing his kingdom very well in Ayodhya, as explained in Ramayana, how was the mind of Lord Ram? For that, Lord Shiva says, Jagan Mangala Mangalatmana. He was a person who gives auspiciousness and grace to this entire world. He was such a person. And after establishing his kingdom and settled in Ayodhya, and after sending Sita Devi to the forest, even in that situation, he has the stable mind. That's his greatness. Chachara Purva Charitam Rahuttamaha. Raguttama, it is the Raghu Vamsa's Uttama Purushan, that is the best among the Raghus. Raghu is his ancestor, he was King Raghu. And he is in a very balanced state of mind. Purva Charitam, just like before, he was so calm. Rajarshi Varyairapi, that is just like the royal sages. His mind was so balanced. He was just like the royal sages. His mind was so balanced, and that's the mentality of Lord Sri Ram after establishing his kingdom according to the Ramayana very well in Ayodhya. The second verse is Saumitrina Prishta Udhara Buddhina Ramah Katah Praha Puratani Shubhaha Ragnya Pramattasya Nrugasya Shapata Dvijasya Tiryaktva Raghavaha. Saumitri, that is the son of Sumitra, and son of Sumitra is Sri Lakshmana. And Udhara Buddhina, he is a person with a great intellect. Udhara means a great, Buddhi means intellect. Great Buddhi he has, Lakshmana, Sri Lakshmana has great Buddhi. Not only that knowledgeable, but it also means that he has an adjusting mind. He always adjusts himself with Lord Rama. So he has a great adjusting mind. That Lakshmana once asked, Rama Khada Praha Puradhani Shubhaha. For that, to his question, Sri Rama said to him a very old story, Puradhana, old ancient story, a very good katha, a good ancient story. Lord Rama said to Lakshmana, Ragya Nrigasya Shabhata. It is about the story of the king Nriga's Shabha, that is curse. And who has given the curse to Nriga, King Nriga? Dvijasya. From a Brahmin, he got a curse. Who? The king Nriga. It is there in the Puranas. Tiryaktva Mathaya Raghava, to become a reptile, a chameleon, to become a chameleon, that is to become a reptile. King Nriga got a curse. And that story, Raja Ram, Lord Ram, is explaining to Sri Lakshmana at one instant. And the story of Nriga is, King Nriga is, King Nriga, he used to give dana, that is as a dana to the Brahmins. So like all the people who rich people at that time, they used to give cows as dana or some land as dana. It is the practice in that ancient time. Even the rich people, when they do a religious rite, they give dana to the Brahmins. Even now it is happening, but not in that pure way like before, ancient time. So like this, King Nriga, he gave some cows to one Brahmin, that is to the first Brahmin. Let us have his name as the first Brahmin. One cow unknowingly came back to the palace without the knowledge of the Brahmin or without the knowledge of the king. It came back to the palace itself. The king on the next day gave some cows to another Brahmin along with this cow that came from that first group. Along with that, he gave that cow to another Brahmin. So, coming to know of this, the first Brahmin, he cursed. You gave me dana and you got it back and gave it to another Brahmana. So, you must become a reptile because the chameleon, it changes its color. So, you must become a reptile in another lifetime. So, that's the story Lord Ram is explaining to Sri Lakshmana. It is in this context that we should not follow adharma even unknowingly. So all this incident happened without knowing of the king. But he was cursed by the first Brahmana who got the dana because he got it back and gave it to another Brahmana. So even unknowingly, one should not do adharma. In the Shastras, it is said that only 3 people have the permission to do adharma. First is the Bala, that is the Shishu or Bala, because very young children below the age of 5 or 4, like that. Because they will not have the discriminative mind. So they do not know what is good or what is bad. So they have the permission to do adharma till that age, till that state of Balaga, they can do. Another category of people is the Unmattaka, because the Unmataka are the mentally retarded people or the people who have mental problems, disability of the mind, or we commonly say as mad people. They have the permission to do adharma because they do not have any discriminative mind and they need treatment, not punishment. If the balaka does any wrong or adharma, they have to be corrected, not punished. If the unmata, if they do any adharma, they have to be treated, not punished. And the third variety of people is the jnanis. The jnanis, they don't do adharma. Even if they do it for the good of the other person. So they should not be punished. We have seen in Puranas, many sages, they give trouble to some people or they yell at someone like sage Durvasa, but that doesn't incur sin on him because it is to correct others. They know what is good and what is bad for the others. Even in today's lifetime, I have heard about a sage who, if we go near him, he will take a stick and beat us if we have papa. So actually, if we beat any other person, it is a sin. We have to be punished. But this person is not punished, and every person very eagerly goes near him to get that beating because that is the end of all his sins. And only in his life after that, only good things will happen. So that's the sages. They can behave in their own way. They have the permission for that because they have mental concentration and the knowledge they have is not this worldly knowledge. So they have the permission. So even though Nriga is a king, he was cursed by an ordinary Brahmana in his land. So that story Lord Rama explains to Sri Lakshmana, we should not overcome dharma in any situation. So that's the explanation of this verse 2. Now the verse 3. कदाचितेकान्त उपस्थितं प्रभुं रामं रमालालितपादपङ्कजं सौमित्रिरासीद शुद्धभावनः प्रणम्य भक्त्या विनयान्वितोऽब्रवीत्. At one time, kadachit ekanta upasthitam prabhu. Once, when Lord Rama was resting in a calm place, and his wife Sita Devi, that is here Rama, that is another name of Sita Devi, Rama Lalita Pada Pankajam. Rama, that is Sita Devi, was massaging the feet of Lord Rama or servicing his feet. When they were both alone, Saumitri, that is Lakshmana, Asidita Shuddha Bhavanaha. He came there with a very pure intellect, very pure buddhi. Pranamya Bhaktya Vinayan with Pranamya, he worshipped him very humbly. Pranamya Bhaktya, with devotion, when with humbleness, he prayed Lord Ram. Once it happened like that Lord Mahadeva says. Now, what Lakshmana says is, Saumitri Uvacha Tvam Shuddha Bodhosihi Sarvadehinam Atma Yadishosi Nirahridi Swayam प्रतीयसे ज्ञानदृशा महामते पादाब्ज भृङ्गाहिद संगिनाम्. This is a very beautiful expression used by Sri Lakshmana to describe the feet of Lord Rama. Padabja Bringahida Sanga Sanginam. Padabja Bringahida Sanga Sanginam. Your feet, that is like lotus. Bringa means bees. That is always surrounded by the devotees, just like the bees that surround a lotus flower to drink nectar. So your feet is always surrounded by the devotees to get knowledge. So very beautiful explanation of the father of Sri Rama by Sri Lakshmana. He says, you are Shuddha Bodha, you have a very pure intellect, you have pure knowledge. And you are the Sarva Dehina Atmana, you are the Atma of all the Dehas, that is all the beings, you are the Antarami. You are the soul, you are the Atma for all the beings. Nirahridi Swayam, you do not have a form of your own. This Sri Lakshmana explains the pure nature of Sri Ram, not his form, not his personality or not his nature, but his pure nature. You have tremendous knowledge and you do not have any form because you live as the Antaratma of all the beings in the world. Pradiyase Jnana Drisha Mahamate. You can be seen only by the people who have wisdom because they do not see you with their ordinary physical eyes. With physical eyes, we can see only the form, but the pure soul we can see only by our knowledge, that is our wisdom. And the jnanis, they see you through the eyes of wisdom, jnana drishti. Only you are visible to them as that. And your pada, your feet, is always surrounded by the devotees to get the knowledge, just like how the bees surround a lotus flower to get the nectar. So that's how Saumitri, that is Sri Lakshmana, approaches Sri Ram when he was alone with Lord Sita Devi, and with very humbly he expresses this. The next verse, that is the fifth verse, is Aham prapannosmi padambujam prabho bhavavargam tava yogi bhavitam yada jasa jnanam aparavaridhim sukham tarishyami tadhanushadhimam. So I take refuge in that feet. Padambujam Prabhu. Prabhannasmi Radhambujam Prabhu. I worship that feet. I take refuge in that feet. Bhavabhavargam tava yogi bhavidam. Your feet that is worshipped by the great yogis to get a concentration of mind. Yadajasa jnanamabhara varidhi. To get concentration of mind, those who practice concentration of mind, that is yogis, your lotus feet I take refuge, that releases everyone from the bondage of samsara. So I take refuge in that feet. Sukham tarishyami tathanu shadhimam. So I can easily cross this unbounded ocean of ignorance, avidya. I can cross that by taking refuge in your feet, which the yogis seek to get concentration of mind. So that feet I take refuge of. This very beautifully Lakshmana, Sri Lakshmana, expresses his desire to Sri Rama. Now Sri Rama says, he thinks, not says, but he thinks, श्रुत्वा त सौमित्रिवचोऽखिलं तथा प्राह प्रपन्नार्तिहरप्रसन्नदीः विज्ञानमज्ञानतमोपशान्तये श्रुतिप्रपन्नं क्षितपालभूषणः. Kshitapalabhushanah, that is the way the Mahadeva, he tells Sri Ram, ornament among the rulers. Kshitipalabhushanah means he is the ornament, jewel, gem among the rulers. Having heard what all Lakshmana said, what all he said, he heard, Shrutva, completely what all he heard on Lord Sri Ram. In a very pleasing manner, he decided to expound the Vedas to Lakshmana, because he approached him with humbleness and a desire to hear the Vedas. That is very important. When we have the eagerness to hear Brahma Vidya, automatically there's humbleness, and because of that desirous feeling, we approach the Guru with humbleness. It automatically comes. So like that, Sri Lakshmana approached the Guru, that is Sri Rama, in order to hear the Brahma Vidya from him, because he has knowledge. He has great intellect. He has great knowledge. He knows Brahma Vidya. He approached him to receive that knowledge in a very humble way. Hearing that, what all Lakshmana said, Sri Lakshmana said, Sri Rama decided to give him knowledge, and that is decided to share the Vijnana Majnana Tamopashantaye. Vijnanam, that knowledge, that Shantaye, that destroys. In here it destroys. Shantaye means to make it calm. What? To make it calm. What? To make the jnana, ajnana, that is, ajnana means ignorance and tamo means darkness. Just to remove the darkness and avidya, Lord Sri Ram decided to give the knowledge, vijnana, that knowledge to Sri Lakshmana. So that ends the 6th shloka verse. From the next verse, Sri Ramachandra tells about gives the Brahma Vidya to Sri Lakshmana. That we will see in my next video. Om Shri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha.